Hello everyone, welcome back to more chess. Playing 10 plus 5, this time as black against Sark's 90. Okay, let's just get a pawn out there. Okay, yeah. I don't remember, I think... Well, this is probably bad against that, right? Because... Uh... They could just do this and kick my knight away, and I would feel kind of bad about wasting moves developing him. So let's start instead by launching a counterattack. How bad could this be? If they defend the pawn, then we can defend our pawn. Something like this, maybe. You could defend with a pawn, of course, but I don't like blocking in this bishop. So let's do that. And white has grabbed a lot of space, but hasn't developed any pieces. So I'm reasonably happy with how this is going. And we can imagine something like this someday. It's a nice pocket for the knight. They can only really be challenged by this, which is not something white wants to do. Also, stop clicking in the wrong place. Advancing the f-pawn so early is not desirable, I feel like. The f-pawn is very important for the kingside safety, and this diagonal, well, in the other direction, will hopefully be an avenue of attack for me someday. It makes it less appealing to kingside castle. I could even go in for that now. But I don't really see the need. A bishop here is not really doing anything yet. Huh. This is a very big commitment to pawn moves. We can do this here, kind of break this down a little bit. But then my bishop is kind of awkwardly placed with the queen seeing through it to my queen, and I don't want this trade to happen because I lose castling rights. I feel like I should be keying in on this square a bit better right now. How do I do that? I mean, that does it. But one piece isn't going to cut it. Maybe I can do this? You know what? Maybe let's advance this bishop. I had the idea of getting a bishop here so that I wouldn't need to retake like so. But I can retake this way, right? Yeah, I was worried about this, but I don't have to do that. I can take this way. Yeah, let's try to weaken the pawn like that. Actually, with the knight would be even better? Boy, I'm bad at this game. It's hard to see. I don't have good, like, visualization practice / experience. Like, without arrows on the board, it's hard for me to see. I think I'm okay with this. I could just leave the queen there. I see. It's sort of indirectly defending this pawn, who is having a bit of a tough time otherwise. So here, I'm okay with this. This breaks the pin and frees my knight up to renew this attack. Okay, fine with me. And I think we wanted to take with knight, right? Not much. Well, doing this opens up my bishop, right? It weakens the knight, but I can advance this pawn to open the knight up a bit. Okay. Yeah, let's give the bishop a better view. I'm not as much more developed than my opponent as I used to be. I guess I am. Like I've got my king side is better developed, which is important. And I still think these pawns are kind of a liability. We can... I think threatening the center here is pretty cool, but I don't know if it's my highest priority. I should probably get the bishop going first to lend more support here so that I don't need to hazard my queen. I can also castle and try to get a rook onto one of these files, which is quite powerful. This pawn is a little sensitive. If bishop here... Where's this knight going? It must be here, right? And then? I don't know. Here? Doesn't seem great. Here? It's a check, which would take away my castling rights. I guess it also threatens to defend, stop this pawn from advancing. Let's just castle now before anything bad happens to those privileges. And now I'm not really afraid of this at all. I guess it also supports this bishop. And this pawn is a bit sensitive. I forget if I said that already, but it is. So can I do this? I feel like I can, right? It's attacked twice and defended twice, so it's possible. Is it good? I think it is. Is there some weird tactic that would enable it, that would, like, make me lose track of one of these defenders? I don't think so. Let's just kick that knight away. It can't jump in here anymore because that's not defended. This is no good. This is no good. So it kind of has to retreat. And I think we're winning something there, even if only tempo. We threaten this. Well, I don't know how good that would be. Obviously, we threatened this, but that's not, like, important. But suppose takes here. Oh. Okay. Fine. Now I have a great center. Wow. I thought they would run away rather than do this. We could pre-move this, but there's just no way they're throwing away their queen, so not much point. Bishop here is threatening this bishop. This pawn is now in some danger because of the knight. It's only guarded by the queen. I could defend it like so, but why don't I just push it some more and keep attacking the knight? Now it's this pawn is very strongly defended by a pawn, a bishop, and a queen. Okay, now you're coming back to attack this. Not really realistic, I don't think. Yeah, let's go here. What about this? The knight is undefended, but doesn't want to leave. I don't know. I think white would welcome me trading bishops like that, so let's not. Let's just go here to sort of counteract the knight. Right, anywhere he can go, I can go better, sort of thing. Okay, queen's coming up. Not sure why yet. My light squares are a little dangerous. I could do something like this someday. She might be trying to get here. This ties her down to defending the knight. And also frees up that file for further support by my rook, I guess? I'm a little worried that it's a light square, which the opponent has good control over, or better than dark. But I don't think that's that big a concern. There's no knight moves that immediately attack it, right? Here, oh, yeah. Here's a vulnerable spot for my queen. Here, or the knight here is attacked, but the pawn is pinned, so it doesn't actually control it. So let's just do this. Now the knight is pinned, and we don't have that concern if here is no good now. Well, it would be a trade, I guess. But I think I'm in a winning position. I'm ahead. I have better control of the center. My pieces are better developed. Yeah. I can't do this. It's undefended, so that's probably not a good move. What are they threatening? My pawn, I guess. Oh, also this knight was hanging? Whoops. Good thing they didn't notice. I don't really want to be checkmated right now, if that's okay. The knight is still hanging, though. Yeah. So I'm not really in a winning position anymore, if I ever was. These bishops also both hanging, so I think we better move one of them with some kind of forcing move. Even though it means giving away a bishop for a knight. This... I don't know. That knight was undefended for way too long. Is that good? I think this is good, actually. Because I have, I don't know, an attack here at some point against the king. The queen doesn't have a lot of squares, does she? Here, 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 here. I guess she has like 5. It's probably enough. This attacks their pawn, defends mine. Castles is probably bad right now because I have so much going on in these two files. It gets you behind pawns, but they're not very stable pawns. Okay, let's just get everyone off those light squares and barreling down these center files, see if I can somehow recover this. I wonder if I actually could have just like taken here and said, look, you're welcome to this rook. If you let me get both major pieces here, you're dead. No, queen would take the rook. We have something like this maybe to chase away the bishop. I think I'm okay with en passant here. That seems like weakening the queen side by a lot for no obvious reason. Rook here, maybe? No. It's going to let me in. All right. I don't think this rook is needed for anything else, and he's not defended, but not immediately vulnerable either. Queen here, but like, who cares? And I'm threatening like this? Seems very serious. King would have to go to one of these two squares, or I guess knight could block. What about oh, wow, really? So much for knight blocks. Here, now king does have to go to one of these two squares. Queen here, supported by the rook. If king here, anyway. Would be checkmate. So actually, king has to go there in response to this. What follow-up do I have to that? I think rook here is stonking great. Like, it threatens mate in one, and I don't see any stop of it. Just double check. Whoops, not that. This. King must go to one of these two squares. Oh, and not this one, because there's already a rook there. So king must go here, right? Now, I think rook here would be a mate soon enough, but can't I do this instead? After rook takes, I have queen takes. Check. King can get out to here and then squirt out on this side, I guess. No, I have... I have bishop here? I'm pretty sure this is winning somehow. But, like, suppose this. What exactly does white have to defend? Knight here is no good. I would just take. Bishop. Oh, no, I wouldn't, because these two pieces are collaborating here, actually. So if I push one in, they can get the other. Okay. So what about this idea that I had? The only legal move is this. Oh, no, queen. Oh, I don't. That's not the move. This is what I was thinking. The only legal move is this, or queen blocks, which would let me get the queen, so I'm okay with that. Here, here, here. Now queen could block, but there's no use. King goes to one of these two squares, presumably this one. We block this off. And then here with the rook? I think that's good. The pawn can stop the bishop, but the king can't actually get out this way is the important point. So I think here... Well, what if I just did this first? I don't think that's very good. Well, actually, it's fine, right? Oh, this doesn't work because of the queen. Shoot. So what if this? King can escape only to here or here. If here, I think I can just bring queen back. No, I can't. There's a rook in the way. Whoops. Oh, but I have this to chase him away some more. And then this to pick up the queen. Unless king goes there, which seems unlikely. Oh, that's checkmate, in fact, because here supported. No, it's not checkmate. The queen would take. I think I just missed mate in one, actually. Queen here was checkmate. It's a little embarrassing. Fortunately, it's still checkmate. Okay, so something I wanted to consider doing in games is try to analyze things before I get a computer analysis. See what mistakes of my own I can spot. I think this is fine. I don't know if it's best, but it seems okay. This is also fine. It's developing, defending. Okay. That seems all right. I spent a lot of time on this move, I remember. The bishop is... Oh. If they take, I actually do have to go this way, because the bishop is undefended, and they've just x-rayed it with the queen. So I sort of missed a detail here when I thought my plan was to take that way. It didn't end up happening, and this was available, but it's kind of problematic, actually, because takes... I now have to do this. I guess that would be okay. My bishop is pinned, but there's no way to pile up on him. And I can use a discovery with him to check the king. Suppose this, the most natural play, right? Then I have queen here, forcing king takes, and then I can back up with the bishop. I've traded queens and gotten castling rights taken away from my opponent, which is probably worth it. So I think it would have been okay to take here, but my thoughts of this and this were muddled. They're not really a good play at all. And I happen to get my bishop out of harm's way now. So I guess it wasn't totally wasted thought because... Oh, maybe I was only thinking about it now. Because now I don't want to do this, because I'm the one who gets castling rights taken away. I have this bishop, though. Not like that, but like this. So maybe it would be okay, even to open up the D file. I think bishop blocks here is the obvious correct move. It weakens this pawn, but there's no danger there just now. Don't really understand trade. It just lets me improve my pieces. This is fine. I don't know. I wonder if I should have taken the other way. I liked it. No. I liked it because I wanted to get something on this diagonal. Okay, maybe. I don't know. Not sure how great that really is, actually. Maybe this would have been better. I don't know. It sort of forces a queen trade. Because... Well, no. White could just move the queen here to get out of the attack. And then if I try this, for example, they just recapture. So it doesn't actually even force a queen trade. It does offer my opponent one that undevelops my bishop a bit. But I don't think that would be so bad. I don't know. Takes either way seems okay. I like... Yeah, this is probably better because it lets me build a stronger center. Castle seems fine. Yeah, chasing away the knight. Again. Okay, now he started to become a little problematic. And this seems okay, but there's probably something better. Yeah, I don't know. It develops a piece. It's probably not horrible, but not great. It it actually is probably horrible because it sets up this pin against my knight on the rook, and the knight is undefended, so he's gonna be really hard to support. And like, where is he gonna go next? Here? Into here? I don't know. Like that's a migration path he could take, I guess. But that's a lot of moves to get to anywhere good. He's not horrible here. I don't know. I think it's dangerous to play that knight, and maybe there's a way to save it, but I didn't quite see it. I think this is bad too. Now I have two undefended pieces just sitting here right next to each other, and there's a queen on the loose. I'm creating tactical vulnerabilities for myself. I can support them both with something like this someday, although obviously not right now. But I think it's better to just not do that. This pin against the knight is not very realistic. The queen doesn't need to stay there. She can move to here or something and attack my undefended knight. So I think this is just exacerbating that weakness and should not have been played. Could do this to plug this hole before it gets opened, maybe, and defend the knight as well. Now I can't do it. So I think I would have to do something like this to support the knight. I could also just move the knight here, here. The rook is defended by the queen, so I don't know. I don't think that move is it though. It's just dropping the knight. So this has got to be my big blunder of the game. There's some obvious issues over here to be addressed. This works, but it like makes the bishop hanging as well, so it makes this move even stronger. But I think really where things went wrong for me was somewhere in this neighborhood where I moved knight here, bishop here, rook here. That combination of three moves, I've got to be in a losing position right now. Humongously losing. And I think at each of those moves, I had an opportunity to fix the problem. For example, I could go queen here now instead of this, which is just like dropping the knight. They got this in first, which makes it even stronger, but suppose, for example, here. Now this is like fine. Or at any rate, I don't see anything obviously wrong with it. I guess there's discoveries with this knight against my bishop, so I don't know, this, but I can just take with knight. Well, that drops this. Here attacks the queen and discovers an attack on the bishop. Yeah, so this is actually also bad for me. So I think at this point, I maybe need to trade in the bishop to give away a piece that's currently weak just because he's exposed. Right now I have like a piece hanging, but in a moment I'll have more tactical problems. Right, I have piece hanging and also discoveries coming. I don't know. I guess I did consider queen here, but I could go queen here as well and not be open to knight discoveries. Maybe that would be okay. It also defends this for what that's worth. But it's still like dropping the bishop. Everything drops the bishop. So I really should trade the bishop here. And then you can choose which piece to take. Probably you take this one. And then I have to rescue the knight. Which could happen a number of ways. Here, here. I don't know. But I think something had to change in this area. This seems pretty clear because I was disastrously losing after this all happened. Oh, I wanted to look at... I thought of this during the game, but no, that can't be what I thought of. At some point, the bishop was gone, and then I considered it. Yeah, now I considered it, but it's like obviously wrong because of the queen. What is this about? I was trying to support the pawn. Pawn here, bishop here attacking my rook seems wrong. Because I kind of want to move the rook anyway. To support this guy, I think. So it seems a little wrong. Not like the worst move I've ever seen. And it's creating a strong battery into my position, although not at anything I really care about at the moment. Could be positionally good later to have this diagonal under control. But this, I think, was a blunder. It gives away the pawn, but more importantly, it gives away the d file. And if you actually retake, you're still down a pawn, but now I've got an even more advanced rook who's taking up the third rank. So I think this whole sequence gave the game away for my opponent. They were winning, and then suddenly they were not winning. I don't like king here either. Because, like, suppose some nothing move. Does this actually work? Is this checkmate? There are several ways to block here. But I guess in any case I can do this. But I don't actually... I don't see a way to zero in on actually getting the king. Well, I guess I still have this idea. So suppose knight blocks. Oh, of course. Knight blocks, now I can't do this anymore. So, like, I have a strong attack. I don't immediately see how to finish things off. I can do this, I guess. And it sort of requires king here. And now white has a little bit of breathing room. But I don't think it's really enough. I feel like I have some crazy sacrifice here. I don't really think it works, but it seems like it ought to. Takes... I don't even have a follow-up check, do I? Yeah. That's not very good. So I don't know. White might actually survive this. So... But the king going up, I'm not sure what you were trying to save yourself against. What did you see here that was so scary? I guess rook here? But that's not good, is it? Let's suppose again a nothing move. And then rook here. My queen can't really get into the action. She's guarding the rook. But how does she get involved? Let's say knight here. Maybe I trade, and then they're like, okay. I don't know. This doesn't really seem like it's exactly leading to mate. So I don't know. This king here seems like another big blunder, and at that point, I'm pretty sure I have it. Yeah, rook here to get my queen to the back rank, so my rook can take the second rank. I think that's the right idea. Yeah, it must be. Now, what's the right follow-up here? I think it is rook here. There's some ideas like this with check, which is a sack, sure. But I don't think the follow-up to it is good enough. Here is check, but I have no big follow-up anymore. King just goes to a light square, this one, I suppose. And what am I doing? Not much, right? King here, and I'm out of attackers and down a rook. So I don't think rook here is any good. This, oh right, of course that's the way forward. It forces the king into my position. And as I noted, this was checkmate. So I did miss mate in one there. I was starting to run a little low of time and was thinking about this, which is quite strong. Because it very obviously forces queen here. And we get the queen, and we're up material, but not actually that much. Right? Supposing white does this. I guess I still have mate in one. But if my idea was to take here, I did notice it was mate in one that I had missed. So if they'd taken with the queen, I would have realized it. But this is what I had in mind at first, and now the king is obviously very sick, but he's not dead. For example, I guess yeah, I'm up material, but more importantly, I'm up a king. Right, this guy is not alive. This is a kind of cool idea, actually, to distract my queen. But I have stuff like this to get back into the action. King here, I just take the bishop if I want. Or go here. And that just invites the king back to safety, so I don't think I would do that. I would take the bishop. So I would be clearly winning at this point, even if I made the mistake of winning the queen instead of checkmating. All right, let's see what the computer has to say now. Hello? It's not even... The lines aren't even showing up? Okay, there we go. Really? I was up more than I thought in the early game. What happened? 5 blunders. I noticed like 2 or 3. 141 centipawn lost. Oh my god. We were setting records here today. Show me. So he doesn't like this. I thought this was fine. I thought this was great. It says it's a blunder. This was also a blunder. I knew this was a blunder. Because this is a sensitive area, but What, do I just, like, take this, or... Taking this invites the queen forward, and then I get I suppose, some development with tempo, probably, here. Not much. Not sure what's so winning here. Oh, interesting. It hates my knight here. It says I should just... Oh, yeah. Why would I do that? It should tell me about this play. I don't know. I didn't do this, which defends the pawn, because, like, this kicks it away. But I forgot, like, I kind of need to defend the pawn. And this makes it even worse. Because they get to take with tempo. If I just, like, leave the tension, this take is, like, not that great, I think. I don't know. How's this? Well... It says they should still take. Yeah, I don't know. Fair enough. Resume browsing. Yeah. Or resume learning, whatever. So there's apparently some more powerful idea available here. Bishop d6 drops an entire piece. Maybe a bit more. How? Oh! Well, no. Because bishop here takes, my pieces are forked, right? But I just take, and it's like, it seems fine. It likes this, which is fine, but like, what's wrong here? Takes. Okay. Ah. My bishop can't stay here. This is supported by the bishop. And when I return here, there's a real fork. I see. So that's why this is so bad. Okay. Oops. Next. And I love the bishop here. This was a great move. What's wrong with this? Oh. Pawn here? Pawn here forces me to run away even more. And renews this pin. So, okay, the bishop is not actually a stable defender here, is the problem. And it gives this pawn permission to occupy an excellent spot defended by the queen, where I can't easily get at him. Okay. So maybe it's important to keep this bishop here. Check. Develop my queen with tempo. Something like this is fine, but that unpins the knight. I could go here or something. Nope. Do they really want me to just kick it away? I didn't want... I don't know. I didn't want to... Yeah, I think I was not seeing things clearly here. I didn't want to endanger my kingside structure. I had in mind this sacrifice, but, like, it's not good. Even if I have to take like this, I'm very happy with that trade. But I don't have to. I can do this. And I'm not castling, and I might not even go this way. But I've won a piece, and white has only minor compensation. The natural move of just kicking it away seems quite fine. Okay, and now I'm way ahead. And it doesn't like this. Yeah. Interesting that it doesn't mind that too much. Well, it says it's bad. I'm losing 0.7. But I'm still well ahead, so it's not going to get too nitpicky. Yeah, I went here, attacking the knight. But here also attacks the knight and is defended. And also gets, like, the bishops kind of collaborating on this area. It says this is bad, but, like, whatever, you're still winning. And, I examined some other options for myself here. They all seemed bad. No, I needed to cash in the bishop, right? Doesn't like that. Move the knight? Doesn't like that either. What's the problem here? Queen here was one thing I looked at. It all seems bad. What was I supposed to do? Move the knight here. I looked at that, but I was like, no way that's right. Because it can just be kicked. But I guess you can go here? Get the queen plugged up a bit? Okay. And it's hard to deflect this knight just yet. You have to do something like this. And then eventually this. Huh. Okay. It doesn't like that. What else is there? Oh, I guess this isn't checkmate. I can just walk away. So if I had some serious threat, I could choose to let that stand. Wow. I guess, okay, if there is anything good here that doesn't involve stopping this move, it must be a pretty strong attack. Because the disadvantage of this move for white is that it sidelines the queen, right? So we have something like this, maybe? No, I don't know. Attacking this piece just invites her back into the action. For the center, anyway. I guess something funny you could do would be just save the pawn and say, yes, come on in, I'll just walk away. That's a funny idea. I don't know if that... Is that good? I wouldn't have the guts to play in the game, that's for sure. No, it hates that. My knight is still falling. Right! This is bad because it drops the knight, and I don't need to. I could just drop a pawn instead. I could, for example, do this. Or this. Doesn't like that. Doesn't like this. Oh, that's kind of cool. Nope, doesn't like that. Move the knight again. Why? Why is this good? We have here. King here. It likes this. Fine. Huh. Okay, so this is the attack. We have a discovery against the king. So he moves out of the way. This pawn is falling. But all of this, like, eventually breaks down the king side? This is too much for me. You have to go so far to see why knight here is a good move. Like, okay, knight somewhere is a good move, but, like, why not knight here? Why not queen here? I mean, right now, I'm up a little material. I'm up a pawn, I have a bishop up for a knight. What I have is a big position in that I control the center with my pawns and also the central files with my major pieces, which is a huge positional stuff to work with for sure. But I don't understand how to, like, convert that. And apparently this positional thing is, like, what lets me play this move. So, I don't know. I don't feel bad for not seeing this. It seemed to me like, I don't know, they'll just kick it, right? What have I gained? Or, well, they'll, I mean, I guess they don't kick it, though, because I get trade for the bishop and neutralize this attack. And, like, kicking it now is also bad. Huh. I don't know. Next. Rook E, D8. It doesn't like. Interesting. Am I supposed to go here so I have this file? What about just here first? Oh, wow. Look at the scores. It says I'm down a bit after this blunder by my opponent. And then I'm down a lot after rook E D8. So the thing about here, it drops the rook. But maybe I have a strong enough follow-up like this? I think that would... So I was thinking about something like that in the game. Oh, right. The queen is guarded. Doesn't work. I could pick up the bishop, though, if they actually want to take the rook. I don't think this is right. Let's see what the computer thinks of it. Horrible. Yeah, and then just get to the queen side. Okay. I don't know. Like, this? Still very bad. This is a check. I don't know. What's the answer? I mean, I looked at that and I don't see why it's good. Like, why not just pick up the rook? It lets me get a supported... Oh! Not only does it get my rook in here, it opens up this diagonal for my queen to support. So suppose this. It's immensely losing for white. Wow. I see. I didn't evaluate the, like, I wanted this pawn off of this file. So, which is like why I put the rook here. Is like I was trying to get rid of this pawn, but I didn't consider the importance of getting it off of this diagonal as well. I see. So now we have this. And like you can stop. No, this would be mate in one because I had the pawn protecting this. So king kind of has to go somewhere. Let's say it likes here, and we just storm in. And the best white can do is sack the queen. And I still have good promotion possibilities here. Okay. So it hates this. I was considering this. Oh, you know what? What if I do this? I was thinking I could follow up with like once the king, if he runs to the back rank, I could follow up here, but then queen takes, so that doesn't seem very good. So I don't think queen here is right. The only other thing that appealed is this. No, that's horrible. Queen just takes. Am I supposed to do that? No? This is one that I should really be able to figure out. I guess a problem with this move is knight here, huh? Blocking the king and discovering an attack against my queen. I can trade my queen in for the rook, but then the attack has stopped, and white has some pretty powerful pieces that can try and bother me, maybe. Well, I think my king's pretty safe, actually. Just tuck him in nice and tight here. I mean, obviously I can also attack the king from here, but I don't really see why that would be much better. What's the answer? Just push the pawn. I looked at this pawn and I couldn't see any reason to push it, so I didn't even say anything. I guess it gives this bishop a line into the action, but it opens up this square for my queen. So it's not about this diagonal. Well, hang on. I guess my queen already had this square. And then we push this pawn again. What is this pawn about? It's in my way this time for the rank. Getting over here. I don't understand. Why is it like saying to play for the draw? It's not. It's saying like do this for a while, see if they let you win. And then when they don't, do something like this. Start picking up pieces and checking. Huh. Alright. I don't understand why we pushed that pawn still. He was in the way, I guess, of my dark square attacks. So it says this goes from like hugely winning to like slightly ahead. All they have to do is block, but my opponent, like me, was so concerned with the safety of the king that they weren't thinking clearly and thought the king had to run. And if the king runs, indeed, this is a great move. The king here was best. And then we get to pick up the queen. And then you have to cut off the queen. Why is it suggesting this? Is that not? Oh, I see. This is an exit square. Sure. This seems better because it stops the queen getting here at all, but you can still escape, so it's fine either way. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue doing that, like try to analyze things without the computer. It took a long time. We ended up with a long video, and most of my insights were not much good anyway. But it's sort of good practice to try to come up with them yourself, so who knows, maybe I'll revisit this, maybe not. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.